A lot of people believe that if you are intelligent, it means that the world is yours. It means that you are going to be successful. Things are going to work out for you. People are going to listen to you. People are going to worship you, but that is not true at all. That's not how the world works. What you must understand is that you were born in a society that already has values. You're born into a society that already has rules and laws. You're born into a society that already has beliefs. You're born into a society that already has preconceived notions. So if you are intelligent, you're going to find yourself disagreeing with a lot of people. You see, if you are intelligent, you're going to want to become a game changer. You'll be able to realize if there are some things that are being done wrong. So you're going to want to change things. You're going to behave differently. And because of that, a lot of people are not going to understand you. Because of that, a lot of people are not going to love you. Because of that, a lot of people are not going to agree with you. Because of that, a lot of people are not going to be able to relate with you. You're going to feel alone. You're going to feel like nobody understands you because, well, nobody understands you. You're going to find yourself wanting to be alone. Intelligence killed more people than you'll ever realize. You hear people talking about loneliness. You hear people talking about, I'm single and I can't find the right partner for me. You find people talking about, nothing really seems to work. No matter what I do, it doesn't work. Most of that has to do with the fact that they are so intelligent and other people are not really able to understand them, and they are not really able to understand how the world works. They're not really able to understand how the real world works. Because if you are so intelligent, you won't be able to dumb down to be able to operate at the level that everyone is operating on. You're going to want people to actually rise to your level. And that's how things should be. But society is not going to be willing to rise to your level. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time. They will have to let go of things that they value if they have to rise to your level. They have to let go of their beliefs. They'll have to break some few rules. Throw away some of their preconceived notions. And that is a lot of work. So they would rather remain on their level. But if you are levels above them, because you can't dumb down to be on their levels, you're going to be lonely. You're going to be alone. You're going to want to be alone because when you are with other people, you'll feel more alone. And then you hear that, people are depressed, people have mental illnesses. And society will look at it that way. Oh, this kind of people who like being alone, they have mental issues, they don't know how to relate with other people. What if society is just behind? What if you are levels above society and society is not able to really understand you? So society feels like there's something wrong with you. Well, the truth is that actually there's something wrong with society. There's this guy, he's a freestyle rapper from Canada. His name is Corey Sharon, one of the best freestyle rappers ever. He's a battle rapper. He's able to improvise when he's battling other MCs. He's really that good. You wouldn't even be able to tell if he's freestyling or if he's reciting rhymes. You'll not really be able to tell, like, he's that good. But he's autistic. It's like his autism is a gift. But people don't perceive it as a gift, even though it actually makes him better, even though it makes him a superhuman. You see, in this society, if you are different, there's something wrong with you by default. If you are going to be different, there's something wrong with you by default. That is how other people are going to look at you. Look at that weirdo. Look at what he's doing. Nobody doing that, so that means there's something wrong with them. You see, you've got to conform in order to truly be accepted by this society. If you're not going to be if you're not going to be a conformist, if you're not going to really fit in, if you're not going to be doing what everyone is doing, society is going to treat you like a misfit. If society decides that Nike Air Force One sneakers ain't dope anymore, you shouldn't be wearing that. If society decides that caps ain't cool anymore, you shouldn't be wearing caps anymore. If society decides that speaking in English isn't cool anymore, you shouldn't be speaking in English. If society decides that wearing specs isn't cool anymore, you shouldn't be wearing specs. If you're going to continue to wear specs, there's something wrong with you. And that's the problem. So, people who are intelligent find themselves dealing with a lot of challenges. And that is why most of them don't thrive in this society. Remember, to thrive, you need other people to support you. Let's say you are at the bottom of the hierarchy and you're very intelligent, but everyone at the bottom does not understand you. Do you think they will support you? Do you think they'll put you on top? Even if you have the best ideas in the world, because they don't understand you. Remember what I told you about understanding? I said, love is understanding. Like, if true love really existed, it will be understanding. It's you understanding someone. If you don't understand a person, you cannot love them. It doesn't work. You need to really understand them. I mean, you might admire them, you might want to be with them, but it doesn't mean that you love them. To love someone is to really understand them. So if people don't understand you, they won't support you. And if they don't support you, you won't be able to thrive. And because you won't be willing to play by their rules, because you won't be willing to dumb down, things ain't really going to work out for you. You're going to become an outcast, feel alone, not want anything to do with society because, well, you are more intelligent than a lot of people and you are able to see the mistakes that they are making, and you're wondering why they are unable to see the mistakes that they are making. You're wondering why the world is not changing for the better. People continue to make the same mistakes that they've been making 500 years ago. And you don't understand why they keep on repeating the same mistakes. You don't understand why history repeats itself. See, if you're going to be a game changer in society, people are going to persecute you by default. You're not going to be a true game changer if people are not going to persecute you. It doesn't work like that. If people agree with you, everyone loves you, just know you don't really have the solutions. You don't have the solutions. What you are doing is making people feel good. That's what you're doing. You are making people feel good, not growing. Like, hey, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. You should be operating at the level that you're operating on. Everything is good. No one should be telling you to change. No one should be telling you to evolve. No, you're good. Those are the kind of people that are loved in our society. If you're really going to come up with real solutions that are going to make the world better, trust me, people are going to persecute you. That's how it works. That's how it has always been. So if you're loved by everyone, know that you don't really have the solutions. And if you are hated by everyone, chances are you do really have the solutions. Chances are you are on the right path. I mean, you can tell that this isn't really working. You can tell that people are not becoming happier. In fact, our generation is actually sadder than the generation before this one. What do you think is going to happen to the next generation? People are not becoming happier. They're becoming sadder and sadder because this isn't working. There are a lot of things that we're doing that are actually making us sad. There are a lot of things that we're doing that are making things harder for the next generation. So if you are really intelligent, you will be able to see what are those things that we're actually doing that are making things harder. And when you talk to people about these things, because people want to stay at the same level, they're not going to like you, they're not going to understand you. If you're going to behave differently because you see that actually this is actually the best way to behave, they're not going to really like you, they're not really going to understand you. So you're going to have a lot of problems. That is why I keep on telling people that intelligence itself is a burden. I tell them that because I know that if you are intelligent, people are not going to love you. They're not going to really understand you. Unless you use your intelligence to manipulate people. I mean, if you are levels above everyone, you can decide that, okay, let me just manipulate people. If you use your intelligence that way, if you don't let your emotions get in the way and you're like, you know what, this is what needs to be done in this society. So if it means that I have to manipulate people, yeah, I will manipulate people. I'm going to give you this example. So in the movie Idiocracy, there were people who were irrigating plants with energy drink. They were irrigating plants with energy drink. And these plants weren't growing because, well, they wouldn't grow. Of course, the energy drink was killing those plants. So this guy that was supposed to be the smartest guy in the whole planet came up with an idea. Like, hey, let's irrigate plants with water. And they were like, water? What? They use water in the toilet. They were like, water? Like, we should take water from the toilet and use water to irrigate these plants? No. And he said, no, actually, I can talk to plants. What the plants are saying is that they want water, and that's that's when they started using water to irrigate, and plants started growing. See, he had to lie to them. He had to manipulate them because they weren't at his level. They wouldn't really understand him. You have to understand that no matter how right you are, if you are more intelligent than other people, they ain't really going to understand you. Unless you've already proven that what you are saying really works. You see, unless you've already demonstrated that what you're saying really works. If you're just going to come up with an idea that's above many people, they're not going to really understand that idea. You see, it will go over their heads. People ain't really ain't intelligent, man. I remember a few weeks back, I came across a video on TikTok of this other guy. This guy was cheated on by his girlfriend, and he was a cool guy, you know, and he was saying that he loves the girl, but you know, the girl didn't really seem to like him, and she didn't really seem to have empathy. And that video went viral. The guy that was interviewing them usually interview couples who are like cheating on one another. That clip went viral. When I watched that clip, I knew everything was staged. I knew that everything was staged. I didn't think everything was staged. I knew. You know when you know that, oh, this is staged, this is fake. Kept on scrolling. Three days back, that same guy went on this other podcast, and he started talking about how everything was staged. And I checked the comments, and some people seemed like they didn't realize that the whole thing was staged. And I was like, what? How could they have not realized that everything was staged? Like, it was obvious that everything was staged. Like now, it's like it's something that everyone is talking about now. Like, oh, that guy, his shows are staged, blah blah blah. Like, how could he have not known that his shows are staged? You see, people are not intelligent. They might seem intelligent, but they're not. You see people who are successful, and you're like, oh, these people are intelligent. They're not. That is why we still have people that are believing in religions that have too many contradictions. I mean, if they weren't able to see that those shows were staged, how do you think they'll be able to see that the religions that they believe in ain't true? They can't. It's impossible for them. Maybe they will be able to see that the religions that they believe in ain't true if some alien came from another planet and actually told everyone that, hey man, y'all been believing in false gods. Like, they lied to you and actually told us the truth about our existence. Maybe they will start realizing that they've been lied to. But I know, because you know, when it comes to beliefs, people have faith, right? They want what they believe to be true. So they'll still, you know, fight to keep their faith. Like, hey, you know, I have faith no matter what. I have faith no matter what. I remember I was debating with this other guy a couple of weeks ago. And he said something interesting. He said, I was debating with him about Christianity. He said, you know, even if someone proved to me that Christianity isn't true, I'll still believe that it's true because it has worked for me. I was like, wow. These people just want Christianity to be true. Like, it has nothing to do with facts. They just want their religion to be true. People ain't smart. So if you are more intelligent than other people, you're going to have a lot of problems, because people ain't smart and they're not really willing to grow. They're not willing to let go of the things that are holding them back, you see? Because there is something that they are gaining from doing the things that are actually holding them back. So they kind of like, hey, this is how I've always lived my life, so you know, this is cool. You see, people don't want to change. A lot of people want other people to change, but they don't want to change. They want to do things the same way because they're lazy. They know that it takes a lot of work to change. So they want to do things the way that they've always done things. They prefer what's familiar. It's not about truth, it's about survival. To survive in this world, you must fit in and do what everyone is doing. And a lot of people who are not intelligent will think that doing what everyone is doing is actually good. It means that you're on the right path. But if you are intelligent, it will be hard for you to conform, because you'll realize that some of the things that you're supposed to do ain't good. Some of the things that you're supposed to do are holding you back. They're holding everyone back. So even if you pretend to agree with the way things work, there will still be a part of you that's going to be like, nah. You see? And that's going to make you miserable. And that is why depression is common among people who are intelligent. It's hard for them to accept things as they are. That is why they're constantly looking for ways to change things. That's why they're constantly challenging people. They can't really accept the way things are. But it's hard to change things because they were born into a world where it has already been decided for them how they're supposed to live life. So you're not supposed to change things. You're supposed to come into this world, find things as they are, and when you leave this world, you must leave things as they are. You mustn't try to change things, because you're going to run into a lot of problems. You see? This is the kind of society that we live in. Have you realized that a lot of people who are intelligent don't want to have kids these days because of what's going on in the world? The movie that I'm recommending to you is actually about that. It's called Idiocracy. It's about dumb people actually outbreeding smart people. You know, smart people will be like, you know, having kids is a big deal, you know. There are a lot of things that are happening in the world, you know, and I want to focus on a lot of things. I'm not sure if having a baby is actually a good idea right now. And dumb people will just be having babies without really thinking. To just be having babies. And you find that these people don't even have money. So the intelligent ones will be like successful, but they wouldn't want to be having children. But the dumb ones will not even be having money. And that's how things are in the world. You find that people who have no money, people who do not have jobs, are the ones that are having children. Some people say that that is because they don't have a lot of things to do, so they just have sex, but that's not the reason. That is not the reason. Actually, people who are poor don't have a lot of sex because, well, they, like guys who are poor, for an example, women don't love them. And women who are poor don't really have a lot of options, you see? So they're not having a lot of sex. It's people who have money that are having a lot of sex because they have a lot of options. You know, they're the ones who are married. So they're the ones that are actually having a lot of sex. You know, some people say because poor people don't have access to contraceptions. No, that's not true. Where I live in South Africa, there's contraceptions everywhere and they're free. I think it's because people who are not very intelligent don't really think that deeply about the things that are happening. They're not able to foresee things. They're not able to predict the future. They live in the moment. They just do what they want to do in the moment and not really think about the consequences of what they are doing. Now, that's part of being dumb. You don't really think about the consequences of what you're doing. So you make a lot of mistakes. When we look at the state of the world, we actually realize that things are really not working out. You know, there isn't enough resources. That is why a lot of people are unemployed, and that is unfair. The fact that there are a lot of people who can't find employment in this world is unfair. There are a lot of people who are capable who do not have employment. That is really unfair. But that's because we keep on having children even before fixing the current problems that we have. And that is not actually helping. That is actually making things worse. Someone asked me this question because I spoke about atheism. I said that I wouldn't push the red buttons for animals. Ask me, would you push the red button for humans? The answer is simple, yes. The reason why I'll push the red button for humans is because I'm a human and I can see what is going on in the human world. I can see that what's going on in our world is nonsense for real. I can see that there are a lot of people who are being abused and who are saying that they are being abused and no one really cares. I really can relate with humans. I know that there are people who are in this world who don't even want to be part of this world anymore, and they're not even allowed to say, hey, it's time. And because of what? Because of preconceived notions, because of beliefs, because of religion. Like, oh, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. Hypocrites. Remember on the last video I was talking about how people are hypocrites? They just pick and choose what's good and what's evil. That's it. It's not evil to force someone to do something that they do not want to do. But it's evil for them to actually do what they want to do. You see? Everything is upside down. So if you live in a society like that, of course you're not going to thrive. You're going to be traumatized. You're going to grow up traumatized because you'll be surprised. How do people accept this kind of world? Why do they think the way that they think? Don't they realize that there are a lot of things that we're doing wrong? You'll be confused the whole time. It will be hard for you to, even want to go out and just try to enjoy yourself with other people. It will be hard for you to socialize because you'll be surprised. You feel like you're an alien. I know a lot of people have told me that they feel like they're an alien, and these people are really intelligent. In fact, there isn't a person who's told me that they feel like an alien that I felt wasn't intelligent. I didn't feel like they were intelligent because they said they felt like an alien. I've actually had conversation with them and I was like, whoa. I like having deep conversations with people in general. Like, wherever I'm at, the conversations have to be deep. I'll find a way to make the conversation deep. I like having deep conversations. And I know that a lot of people do not think, because I have tried to have deep conversations with some people and realized that, whoa, they don't think. They've never really thought about what I'm talking about, and they should have thought about what I'm talking about, because these are the things that are happening. You ask a person about something that is really happening right now and they don't have an opinion, or if they have an opinion, it's a stupid opinion. You see that they are just ignorant. So this system wasn't designed to help intelligent people thrive. It was actually designed to turn everyone into a slave, to turn everyone into a worker. That's it. It's not designed to be improved by the people that it was designed for. You'd swear that the system itself is perfect if you don't really see things as they really are. You'd be like, oh, the system is perfect. This is how things should work. But if you're really intelligent and you're able to see how things really are, you realize that no, the system isn't good. The system is causing a lot of unnecessary problems that can be solved very easily. But we are following a system that is wrong, a system that is flawed, and we're not questioning this system. And you still see people following that system. You will tell people the truth and you still see them, going back to their ignorant ways. That's going to confuse you. That's going to make you feel alone. That's going to make you depressed. That's going to make you believe that you were sent here to help people grow. People are like, oh, why am I so different? Oh, I'm so different because I was sent to help humanity grow. Humanity is very stupid and destructive. Things ain't working out. A lot of things that are happening ain't right. So I'm able to see all these things because I'm supposed to change things. No, you're just intelligent. And a lot of people ain't intelligent. It gets to a point where people who are intelligent hide themselves. A lot of people do ask me, how are you able to speak the truth if you actually live in a village? If you grew up in a village, like, how are you able to speak the truth? Because I can't even speak the truth at home. I can't even tell my parents how I feel. I can't tell my siblings how I feel. You see, so they feel like they must hide because they are afraid of society, because society doesn't treat people who are very intelligent kindly. So they've learned to conform when they were young. If you're born into a family, to survive in that family, you have to conform. Otherwise, your parents, well, they're going to have a problem with you. They'll always be punishing you. Your siblings are going to have a problem with you. Your teachers are going to have a problem with you. Your friends are going to have a problem with you. When you grow older, your co-workers are going to have a problem with you. Your boss is going to have a problem with you. You see, your life is not going to be easy, so you have to change, try to conform, trying to fit in, and that's how you survive. But that means you have to dumb down, and that sucks. That's what a lot of people are not willing to do. And if they do dumb down, they still suffer. So you find people saying they're depressed, but they don't know why they're depressed. You're depressed because you've dumbed down. You don't understand how intelligent you are. So you've had to dumb down to just do things the way that everyone is doing things. And you thought that you'd be okay. No, you would not be okay. You will not be okay if you conform, even if you don't really fit in. You shouldn't be trying to fit in. It's much better to just be real. It's much better to just be honest. Maybe you'll be proud of yourself in the end. Can you imagine how you'd feel when you're laying on your deathbed and You look at how you lived your life and you realize that you've been fake your whole life. Won't you feel proud if you look back at your life and you're like, I was real the whole time. I spoke the truth the whole time. Or I said what I felt was true, which is actually important. It's better to just be honest, to say what you think is the truth. Even if it means that you're gonna have a problem with a lot of people. I think that is better. Because that will also help you connect with like-minded people. I'm able to connect with y'all because I'm speaking the truth. You know, many of you are able to reach out and talk to me because you've heard me speaking the truth and you're like, whoa, I can relate to this guy. But if you hide, how are you going to connect with the right people? How are you going to be understood by the right people? I mean, you'll be hiding, you'll be fake like everyone else. So I think it's much better to just be real and see where the ride takes you. It will be very hard at first, but you get used to it, and other people will get used to it too. They'll realize that, oh, this is the type of person that you are. Even if they don't like you, but they will know that this is the type of person that you are, and they won't be surprised anymore, and you won't be ashamed of who you are anymore because, well, that's who you are, and everyone else is used to that. So that's better than just hiding yourself. That's why you find that some people exit this world and people ask themselves why. Like, oh, he used to be so happy. No, he wasn't happy. He was pretending to be happy. Because he felt like he needed to conform. I mean, people don't even talk about how they feel anymore. You talk about how you feel, there's going to be a backlash. How can you feel like that? You see how stupid people are? They'll judge you for how you feel. I don't think people understand how stupid that is. You feel a certain way and people judge you for how you feel. You shouldn't be feeling like that. How should you be feeling? It's not like you make yourself feel that way. You just feel that way. So you're telling people that that's exactly how I feel. What people should try to figure out is how to make you feel the way that they want you to feel. If they feel like the way that they want you to feel is actually the best way to feel, you see? But they will judge you and act like you're a bad person for how you feel. That is stupid. And that should show you the kind of society that you live in. Because it's like that everywhere. It's like that everywhere. You talk about how you feel, you're going to see that people ain't going to like you. Like you tell people, this is how I feel. This is how I feel about religion. This is how I feel about politics. This is how I feel about this party. This is how I feel about these laws. People will hate you, especially if how you feel goes against what they believe, what they stand for. Like, we can't even communicate without fighting. You wonder why we were able to speak. You know, people believe in evolution, like, oh, we've evolved. If we've evolved, we have continued to evolve. Right now, we'll be able to understand one another, but we don't understand one another. There was pressure for us to actually understand one another because that will be good for us. That will make us happier. But we don't understand shit about one another. People just pretend to understand other people, but we don't. At least if you conform, you're gonna feel like other people like really understand you. No, what they understand is what they've been told about you, like about how people should be. So, and because you fit in, so you like, hey, it means that they understand me, but they might not really understand you as an individual. It's just that you're part of a collective, so you kind of feel misunderstood because you and everyone else seem to just view reality the same way. So if you are different, you realize that, oh, I'm really misunderstood. So you will want to be alone. You wouldn't want to be with people who don't understand you or who pretend as if they understand you. It sucks. Because people will pretend as if they understand you. Be like, oh no, man, the reason why you feel the way that you feel is because you have a problem. And if you have this kind of problem, you should go and get help. Find that you don't have a problem. They're the ones that have a problem. In fact, the fact that they don't understand you is actually proof that they actually have a problem, because they're supposed to understand you. If they didn't have a problem, they would be able to understand you. You see, if you are really intelligent, you must be able to understand everyone. When a person speaks their mind, you must be able to understand them. And when I say speak their mind, I really mean speak their mind. I'm not saying people who will just regurgitate things that they've been told. No, I'm saying if a person truly express themselves, say, this is really how I feel, and they're vulnerable, you should be able to understand them. If you don't understand them, you have a problem. They're not the ones that actually have a problem. You are the one who has a problem, because you don't understand other people. You're not intelligent enough to understand other people. I mean, yes, we might not be able to understand one another truly, but we must be able to understand one another to a certain degree, so that we'll be able to have good relationships with one another, because we're able to understand what we need to understand about one another. Yes, you cannot really understand a person. I mean, each and every person is viewing life from their own perspective. Each and every person is how they are. So, of course, you can't really say you understand another person like that. But there are some things that you must be able to understand about them. That is important. But we do not live in a world where we understand one another. If a person is different, there's something wrong with that person, and that person needs help. And if they say, no, I don't think I need help, I think I just view things differently. Oh, that you're arrogant, you need help. Go and get help. Find yourself fighting with people because they don't understand you. You see? So intelligence isn't what you really think it is. Intelligence isn't really going to help you unless you are willing to break the rules, because you have to be a game changer, but you can't really change things if you are playing by the rules. It doesn't work, because the rules are supposed to lead you to a dead end if you're trying to change things. Because people are not willing to change. So unless you're willing to manipulate people, then you're not going to be able to change them. That's why you find people like Bashar and Abraham Hicks claiming that they are channeling entities. I mean, they might be channeling these entities, who knows, but I think it's very possible that they're not channeling any entities. What's really happening is that they're just intelligent and they have a message that they feel like people must hear. So they claim that, okay, actually I'm getting this message from aliens, Maybe that's what Jesus realized. If Jesus existed, maybe he realized that, oh yeah, I gotta lie to people and claim that I'm the Son of God, because they ain't gonna really understand me. So if I tell them that, hey, I was sent by God, the only way to the Father, the only way to God is through me. You must listen to me. You must listen to what I'm saying, and start doing the things that I'm telling you to do, and that's how you're going to make it to heaven. You realize that that's what's going to work, because they're not going to really understand. They'll be like, who's this guy? Who's this guy trying to change things? We want to stone this woman because she's sinned. You know, this woman sinned. This woman broke the rules. So who's this guy trying to change things? Like, no, I'm the son of God. I was sent by God here. I was sent by God to save humanity. So, and that's when they start listening. It seems like that's what it takes. It seems like you've got to lie to people, manipulate people. Because if you're just going to tell them the truth, they'll be like, who are you? Who the hell are you? Especially if you do not have money, especially if you do not have power and influence. Because people are attracted to power. That's something that you must realize. People are attracted to power. So let's say you don't have power, you don't have influence, you're just a regular person. They'll just look at you like you're crazy. And why do you think differently? You've got to be crazy. Why do you think other people don't think like you? It means that these people are sane. The truth might be that you're just too intelligent and they don't really understand you. You know, you are more right than them, but they don't understand you. It's hard being able to see things that other people do not see. People are being lied to. It's not easy to see that other people are being lied to, and if you do see that, it's not easy to, you know, live with these people that continue to believe these lies that they're being told. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard for that's why life is really hard for people who are intelligent. We don't support people for being intelligent. We support people for being like us, or for being how we would like to be. So if we see a person who's successful and we're like, I want to be like that person, we might support them. If we see a person and we're like, oh, I see myself in that person, we might support them. Not because they're right, but because, well, we relate with them. We see ourselves in them. So that's what's happening. So if you are different, people ain't going to be able to see themselves in you. And if they do see themselves in you, they're going to see the ugly aspects of themselves. Because usually people who are intelligent are real. And we live in a society where everyone is fake. I remember Charles Manson said something like this. Some guy that was interviewing him in prison said, most of your guys belong on a death row or a condemned row, if there is such a row. And Charles Manson said, most people who are in here are your reflections. They are your mistakes as a collective society. And I remember I also said, people see themselves in him. They see the parts of themselves that they hate in him. That is why they hate him. But really, they don't hate him. They hate themselves. I like the fact that I'll be watching someone like Charles Manson being interviewed and my mind will be blown. Like, wow, hey, this guy is speaking the truth. Makes me feel like a psycho, man. But like, damn, why do I understand Charles Manson so much? I mean, this guy really did send people to kill some people, I mean, it seems that way. It seems like he did send his cult members to murder some people. Who knows? Who knows what really happened, but you can't trust Charles. But he was a really intelligent person and he was right about a lot of things. I just think he just let his ego get in the way of things, Could have been very powerful if he didn't let his ego get in the way of things, because he was really that intelligent and there was a lot of things that a lot of people could have learned from him. Maybe would have gotten assassinated, who knows? Because maybe in this world you're not supposed to become that powerful, especially if you're going to be like really speaking the truth. It seems like there's a force that wants to keep people at a very low state of consciousness. So if you're going to be telling people what's really going on and how we can change things, and people seem to like you, then there's gonna be problems. I mean, someone like Charles, the reason why people liked him is because he was charismatic. See, you remember what I was telling you about why some people are loved and why some people ain't loved? Like I was telling y'all that it had nothing to do with how they behave, what they think, what they say, you know. It has to do with whether people are attracted to you or not. You can be a good person and people might still not like you. Even if you are really a good person, you find that people don't like you. You're treating everyone well, you're fair to everyone, and nobody likes you. You can be an asshole, you can be screwing everyone over, and people might still like you. You see? It's just that if they don't like you, even if you're a good person, they will try to make excuses for not liking you because they don't want to seem like bad people. See, everyone wants other people to think that they are good. So if they just say, I just don't like that person, it will mean that they are bad, you see. We are not liked because we are good. We are liked because of our, I don't know, like you can't even explain it. Do we fit in? You know, like that counts. If we don't fit in, are we charismatic? That really counts. I remember there's this girl that was on Dr. Phil a couple of years back. She's very famous now. She was there because she would usually have a problem with her mom. Yeah, her mom took her to Dr. Phil and they started talking, and ended up deciding to ended up deciding to invite her on his show. And she was saying some mean things in the show, but people were laughing. So they loved her. She was saying mean things to her mom. She was saying mean things to Dr. Phil, but people just loved her, even though she was saying mean things. And she became famous for telling her mom, catch me outside, how about that? You know, she's telling her mom that, hey, you can catch me outside if you have a problem so that we can fight. But people loved her, so she became famous. I remember Joe Rogan was saying about her, like, dude, she's a millionaire now. That made me laugh. Like, damn, man, this world is weird. But yeah, if people don't like you, you can be a good person and people will still hate you. If people like you, you can be a bad person and still people will like you. See, people liked XXXTentacion. I liked him too. I think he was a dope artist. I was watching his documentary. His mom and his manager did a documentary about him, and yeah, they told us not his full story, but they told us a lot of things that we didn't know about him. And there were times where he was being mean, you know. There were times where he would say horrible things about his ex-girlfriend, and you'd see that these are the type of things that will get people cancelled, but people still fuck with X. They didn't give a damn. But if it was someone like Jay-Z who said something like that, everyone would have went crazy. Like, if XXXTentacion was the one that beat Chris Rock, I don't think he would have been cancelled. You see? I mean, yeah, he was a kid, but I mean, like, it depends, man. Do people really like you like that? Because there's some people, like, who are not really loved in a society. It's just waiting for you to make one mistake and that's it. The whole world is going to turn its back against you. That can happen. It's like they just don't like you or understand you, you know. It happens that way. Even if you are attractive, I mean, I think Will is attractive, but as a celebrity, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's not like they know him in real life. There's nothing that they can gain from his attractiveness, so they don't really care. You just don't like the dude. There's some things that some people can say and get away with these things. You know, some celebrities can say some mean things and get away with these things, but some celebrities can't say these things. That is because we are hypocrites. That's what I was talking about on the previous video that I published. Hypocrites, hypocrites. So yeah, man, it's good that we try to understand how things really work in this world. You know, if you are very intelligent and you find yourself alone, you feel misunderstood because you are misunderstood, you feel like the whole world is against you because, well, it is. You understand why, and you know also what you need to do, how you need to live life. You know, it's good that you understand the truth so that you won't be insecure, because sometimes you might feel like you don't fit in because there's something wrong with you. Society is great and you need to change and try to fit in. But if you realize that no, it has nothing to do with that there's nothing wrong with me, I just live in a crazy world and I'm able to see the madness, and I don't want to be part of the madness. I want to change things. I want things to be better, so people don't really understand me because of, you know what I mean? Like, that's gonna make you feel good, because you need to be feeling good so that you don't continue to feel traumatized. If you're living in idiocracy, people hated you, people, whenever you tried to do the right thing, people didn't understand you. They felt like you were a bad person. The way that they reacted wasn't like a matured way to react. You'd suffer. But if you understood that, okay, these people are just stupid, you'd feel better. So yeah, you must understand that in this world you can't really enjoy your life like that if you are intelligent, because you will want to change things, you would want to do things differently, and people want to do things the way that they've always done things. If they change, what if things don't work? Well, what if things don't work out? You know, if they decided, okay, we want to change things, we want to do things differently. Remember, they're not like you. They're not able to see things as they really are. So they won't be able to say that, no, even if we change things, you know, things will actually work out and they will actually be better than they are now. So that it's actually good. It's actually for the better. That it's actually best that we change things. So yeah, man, I really understand, you know, a lot of people who reach out to me and talk to me about how they feel like misfits, how they feel like they don't belong here. Like, I truly get it. I truly get it. And for you all to be able to understand me, like, you have to be different. I don't feel like this is easy to understand. Most of the things that I talk about on this channel, I don't think these things are easy for people to understand. You know, a lot of people do get judged for saying the things that I say, but I try to explain these things and try to make people see that, no, man, like, things ain't really what they seem. It's just that we haven't really thought deeply about it to be able to see the truth about these things. That's why on the video that I published 2 days back, I was talking about why it will actually make sense. Why it actually makes sense for some people to feel like they want to sue their parents. Because that seemed ridiculous at first. Like, whoa, sue your parents for what? For giving birth to you? Like, it's ridiculous, right? Not really. You see, so I try to open people's eyes that no, there are some things that seem ridiculous because of how we were raised, because of what we were conditioned to believe, but really it isn't ridiculous. Some of these things ain't ridiculous. It's just because of how we've been raised. Remember, society is cult-like. You know, society is cult-like. If you lived in a cult where everyone believed that you must kiss a goat once you reach a certain age, you must kiss the goat. That goat is, you must kiss a goat, and that goat is going to give you blessings. If you live in a society like that, and you were intelligent, and you knew that that was bullshit, don't you think you'll have, like, a lot of people will have a problem with you? I mean, you wouldn't want to kiss a goat. And you will tell them that, hey, I don't want to kiss no goat, man. I think that's stupid. So they will have a problem with you because they are just not intelligent enough to understand you, to understand that you are actually right. See? Intelligence is a burden. That is something that a lot of people do not understand. Thank you all, guys.